Let's go Broncos! What if I told you that the Denver Broncos are entering this playoff battle with one of the biggest hidden advantages we've seen all season? While the Buffalo Bills struggle to cope with injuries and survive a brutal travel schedule, Sean Payton and his team are perfectly healthy, well-rested, and armed with a game plan that could completely change the landscape of the AFC playoffs. Before we begin, hit the like button if you're a true Broncos fan who has remained loyal to this team through it all. And leave a comment below. Go Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue. Let's get to it. First of all, injury updates, and it couldn't be more lopsided. The Broncos are practically entering this game at full health, while the Buffalo Bills are, frankly, decimated. Let's talk wide receivers. Buffalo just lost Tyrell Shavers to a torn ACL. He played through the Jacksonville game on a torn ACL. Total warrior. But that's not all. They also lost Gabe Davis and Josh Palmer. That's 3 of their top 10 receivers out of this game. And it's not just the pass-catching talent that's missing. The run-blocking power of Shavers and Davis is a big part of what made Buffalo's offense click. Without them, their offense takes a serious hit, especially on the ground. And here's where it gets even more strategic. The Broncos now have the luxury of deploying Pat Surtain in some very creative ways. There's talk, and it's a smart one, of lining him up against the tight end position. He's done it before, locking down elite players like Brock Bowers when opponents were thin at receiver. The Bills, going into this game, only have 3 active receivers, and none of them are threats to Denver's corners. Riley Moss and Damari Mathis can handle these matchups comfortably. Chris Abrams-Drain could lock them down as well. One of Buffalo's receivers has been benched multiple times this season. Another just joined the team 6 weeks ago. Khalil Shakir is talented, but he's a watered-down version of Marvin Mims, not exactly WR1 material. That gives Vance Joseph the freedom to mix things up defensively, and you can bet he's going to dial up something wild. Don't be surprised if Pat Surtain erases Buffalo's biggest threat in the middle of the field. That's a nightmare scenario for Josh Allen, who is also not 100%. A video showed him limping through the locker room. Dalton Kincaid, their tight end, was seen in a walking boot, called precautionary, but let's be real, the wear and tear is stacking up. And don't forget about the schedule advantage. The Broncos are coming off a 13-day rest. The Bills? They've got 5 days and 8 hours of air travel crammed into that short window. That's not just tiring, that's brutal. The altitude in Denver? It's going to hit hard. And this isn't just another game. There's real bitterness hanging over from last season. The disrespect, the taunts, it's fueling this Broncos locker room. Now while Buffalo is limping in, Denver is surging. Not a single starter missed practice this week. Let me say that again. Every key Bronco practiced in full. That's almost unheard of in January. Dre Greenlaw is back. John Franklin Myers is a full go. And let's not overlook their impact. Franklin Myers is a game wrecker, and this playoff run could make him one of the most coveted free agents in the league this offseason. He's going to eat on the inside while Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper keep Josh Allen in the pocket. We're also seeing the activation of tight end Lucas Kroll. Peyton is high on this guy. He called him out in training camp, telling the media they'd know who number 85 was real soon. Kroll is a former baseball player with elite athleticism, hands, and route running. With Buffalo's secondary beat up, especially with Jordan Poyer out, Kroll might be the secret weapon. And remember, he was wide open in a game 2 years ago against Buffalo and Russ just missed him. Don't expect a miss this time. Sean Payton also came out swinging in his press conference, shutting down the narrative that playoff experience is what wins in January. According to his analytics, past playoff wins don't matter. What matters is how you're built, and this Broncos team is built tough. The preseason grind Payton put them through? That's paying off now. DJ Moore said it best. The games feel easy compared to the brutal Augusts. That's what Sean wanted. That's what he built. And here's the kicker. We're not just talking about this year. This window is just opening. Bo Nix is still on a rookie contract. He's making pennies compared to guys like Josh Allen. That means 2 full seasons of financial flexibility for Denver to stack talent and stay in contention. This run? It's just the beginning. And if you're worried about last year's loss to Buffalo, don't be. That team is not this team. Bo Nix was playing with a broken back. He had a quarter of his passes dropped. No Alex Singleton. No Dre Greenlaw. No Talanoa Hufanga. No Evan Engram. And on top of that, Buffalo had a far better WR core and a deeper defensive line then. The Bills are a shadow of what they were last year, while Denver is rolling at full strength. Even Houston laid out the blueprint. Josh Allen got sacked 8 times in that game. Denver beat Houston. Buffalo didn't. Now imagine Vance Joseph cooking up chaos with Surtain roaming, the D-line collapsing the pocket, and Josh Allen having no real weapons to turn to. That's the reality we're looking at. And here's where it gets even more interesting. With the Bills limping into this matchup and the Broncos thriving on both sides of the ball, the psychological edge is shifting hard toward Denver. Think about it. Buffalo is not just physically worn down, they're emotionally drained too. The fan base is in full meltdown mode online, venting about the tight schedule, the travel, the injuries, and even the league's scheduling favoritism. And while all of that might sound like noise, it's a reflection of a team that feels vulnerable. Meanwhile, the Broncos, locked in, focused, hungry, Sean Payton has quietly crafted a playoff-ready monster, and now the NFL is about to feel it. And let's talk about Bo Nix. This isn't the same guy we saw struggling in his rookie start. No more broken vertebrae. No more drop passes left and right. He's had time, chemistry, rhythm, and growth. He's not just managing the offense, he's leading it. And he's doing it behind one of the most well-conditioned, mentally tough locker rooms in the league. That preseason grind? It wasn't just for show. It built the foundation. And now, the real payoff begins. One of the most under-discussed aspects here is just how different the Broncos' offense is structurally compared to last year. You bring in Evan Ingram, a major mismatch at tight end. You've got a revitalized run game with better blocking, better balance, and smarter play calling. Lil Jordan Humphrey may not be stacking stats, but his value in the run game is enormous. He's the kind of player who doesn't show up in fantasy points but makes your offense hum on the field. The trenches are where this game will be won, and I think the Broncos know it. Denver's offensive line is in sync, healthy, and battle-tested. Buffalo's D-line, once one of their calling cards, has taken a hit. And if Denver can control the line of scrimmage and get the ground game moving, it opens up everything for Bo Nix, including play action, deep shots, and the short game rhythm that's become his bread and butter. And let's not gloss over Vance Joseph's defense. This is no longer a unit that bends and breaks. This is a defense that imposes its will. Only one 100-yard rusher allowed all year, and that was early on, before this group found its identity. Since then, they've stiffened up into one of the most disciplined, physical units in the league. And now they're healthy, rested, and itching to redeem last year's playoff disappointment. Zach Allen and John Franklin Myers could be the X-factors in this one. If they collapse that interior pocket and prevent Josh Allen from stepping up, it forces him into scramble mode against disciplined edge contain. He's deadly on the move, but only when the defense breaks down. That's not happening with the way Denver is playing. Josh Allen's about to feel pressure from all angles, and his options are going to be limited with such a depleted receiving core. And speaking of weapons, the Lucas Krull factor just can't be overstated. Payton has had him circled for over a year now. There's a reason they opened his 21-day window at this exact moment. He's healthy. He's motivated. And this is a guy who could absolutely torch soft zones and exploit the safety gaps that open up when you're dealing with injuries like Buffalo's. It would not surprise me at all to see him break off a chunk play early and establish himself as a mismatch nightmare. This game is also a cultural test. The Broncos have turned into one of the grittiest, most resilient teams in the league. They're not flashy, but they punch you in the mouth and they keep punching. Every player is buying in. There's no ego, no freelancing. It's discipline, physicality, and trust in the system. That's what wins in January. Buffalo? They're trying to hold it together with tape and prayers. There's also a big picture takeaway that Broncos country needs to see. This is the beginning of a new era. The Bo Nix window, the roster construction around him, the coaching alignment, it's all pointing toward a sustained run of relevance. And not just sneaking into the playoffs. We're talking about AFC title appearances, Super Bowl contention, legacy building seasons. It starts now. So as we look ahead to Sunday, here's what we know. Denver is healthier, more rested, better coached, and more cohesive. They've got the edge on the field and between the ears. All that's left now is execution. If they play their game, this could be the moment that flips the national conversation.